This is Charlie Key. You are listening to the Be a Light podcast. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden." Hey y'all, welcome to the 15th episode of the Be Light podcast. I'm going to make this intro short because I am so excited for you to listen to this episode. Today's guest is Jessica Roberts, and Jessica is just such a smart woman, a strong woman, and she truly is a light in every room that she walks in. She's the sweetest person you'll meet. She's hilarious, and I just can't wait for you all to meet her and hear the wonderful, inspiring things that she has to say. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jessica. I'm so excited to interview you. Yeah, of course. I remember the first time I met you was actually the first pageant that I did. And we were in the same dressing room and we had our mirrors right next to each other. And I remember thinking, wow, she is so nice. And even if I don't win, like, I'm just glad I met her. And we actually both ended up winning that night. And
yes, that was Trip Town.
I know, Trip County. And we've been
Charlie made the best sister queen.
Yes, you made the best sister queen as well.
No, you made the best sister queen. I remember being in Charlie's mock interviews and like sitting in the back room with Maddie and Lindsay and me and you and just cracking jokes. And I was just like, man, Charlie's like the sweetest, pretty, like even at 13, like, because I met you when you were like 12 or 13.
Yeah, I was 13.
Yeah, so when Charlie was 13 and she was just cracking jokes with us. And like, I was just like, where has she been?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just so grateful for the friendship that we have through this organization. So I'm going to start the podcast off with the question that I always ask. What is your why?
Really, my why is just to keep building and to keep getting better. The why I compete in the Miss America organization itself is just because I've grown up in the organization and I saw firsthand how poised and how experienced all these Miss contestants became and how the friendships they grew built. And I remember being 5 years old and being in the dressing room of a preliminary competition, a local, not a preliminary, but a local competition, and watching the girls change and like watching them help each other and all this. And I just remember like knowing that that is what I wanted to do. And like, I wanted to compete one day and promote my platform and build these friendships and promote myself the best way that I could think possible.
Absolutely. And that's so true. Like just seeing your life, seeing how hard you work for things and how hard you work for the Miss America organization. So it's really cool. I love asking that question just to see how it lines up with people's lives and the things that they do. So speaking of your platform, tell me about your social impact initiative, what that is, and some things you've done with it.
Well, my social impact initiative is Pause for Mental Health, which emphasizes the importance of not only taking a minute to pause for your mental health, but to use Pause, your four-legged friends, for your mental health. And really, I changed my platform's always been people helping animals helping people. I've always had a passion for animals, and I've known the importance of emotional support animals and just using animals in general. But especially with this past first year of being in college and being on my own, I really had to understand the importance of taking time for myself without like my parents telling me I have to, or like other people being there, because when you're in college, you're by yourself. Like you have no one else. You have people that can help you. Your professors are always there, but really you're on your own. And so really this past year, I understood the importance of pausing for my mental health. And I've had an emotional support animal, my dog Switzer, for the past year at college with me. And my college, Wesleyan College, does a fantastic job of allowing people to have emotional support animals. We probably have about 6 in my building alone. And there's like 5 or 6 different dorms on campus. And really just seeing firsthand how these emotional support animals have impacted me, and just having Switzer here with me this past year and having a lifeline other than just myself with me was so beneficial. And even the girls on my dorm love playing with her. They love babysitting her. When they're stressed, they'll be like, I just need a break and I just need to get Switzer and play with her for an hour. And so like, that's just really why I love my platform. It's just emphasizing the importance of using emotional support animals and using animals in general to just love on and play with and grow and recover and build.
Absolutely. I love that that's your platform. That's something that is so relevant, especially in today's society. And just thinking about like my own life, speaking from my experience, I whenever I'm like kind of pausing, I guess, which is important to pause, I just find myself feeling like I need to be doing something. I need to be, I need to be productive. Like, this is bad. I'm just sitting here.
And that's one of the things, I think that one of the main, not like issues, but like one of the issues is, as women, we're told that we're supposed to do everything. Like, we're supposed to do it all. And so if we pause for ourselves, we feel bad. We feel like we're lazy, or we're not doing anything, or we're not being productive. But sometimes you're being productive by taking time for yourself. That is the most productive thing that you can do, is take time for yourself to heal and to rest, so that way you can do even greater things once you're well rested and ready.
Exactly. Because if you're overworking yourself, if you're burnout, then like the things that you're doing that would be good if you had taken some time to rest are not going to be 100%, because you're tired and you've lost motivation, you're burnt out. And so I think in today's society, especially with social media, is such a highlight reel. And it's like, looks like people are constantly achieving, constantly doing all these things. You're like, oh, I need to be doing that too. And honestly, that's why I loved like quarantine. Like, I know it wasn't a good thing, obviously, but
absolutely.
Yeah. But I was grateful for it.
Yes.
Because it gave us time to slow down and like, take life one day at a time and really just be present with the people that you're around. And so I think it's so important to, like you said, with your platform, take a pause and be present and give yourself some rest.
Exactly. And even taking pauses from social media, I'm not the most socially savvy. I always talk about, I tell you all the time, like, I'm so not jealous, but I admire how much you have the ability to keep up with like posting on your social medias and staying active.
Thank you.
I have the worst ability to do that, just because I don't take pictures. Like,
That's
my dad talks about it. My dad talks about it all the time. I don't take pictures when I'm out places or anything like that, because I never think about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, literally just seeing on social media and seeing how and the crazy thing about social media is you don't see every aspect of people's lives. So even though I do a lot of events, I do a lot of stuff, I don't post a lot of stuff on social media, but sometimes people can get discouraged because they see other people that are their same age that are achieving so much without realizing that there's other stuff going on in those people's lives as well. Like, there's a lot of struggle that comes with success. But nobody ever not a lot of people show that struggle on social media. Not a lot of people are very outwardly vocal about the things that they're going through to get to the places that they have gotten to. And so I think it's really just important that everyone, when they look on social media, they understand that social media is the best part of people's lives.
Yeah.
Social media is the best part of people's lives. You're
not
going
the hard
see
parts.
Exactly. Never the hard parts. This is the best parts. And so that's really just pausing from social media as well. And remember that you have best parts in your life. And even though your highs may not look like others, they're still highs. And you really still have to appreciate those personal highs.
Exactly. That is so true. And I think, like you said, like when you look at social media, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because you know that this is not how everyone's life is all the time. And so it's hard to remember that. But I think taking a break from social media and just like living your life without it really shows you how fake it can be sometimes. But at the same time, there are pros to social media. And if you choose to use it in a positive and authentic way, then it's going to be a positive thing. But just everything in moderation and taking time to pause.
Absolutely.
So you've been involved in the Miss America organization for a really long time. So how did you get started?
So I became I've been to every Miss Georgia pageant since I was born.
Wow.
I've been in this organization. Yes. Since I've been in this organization just because my dad used to be involved in the Miss America organization, and he was really passionate about what the Miss America organization did. And when I first started competing, I told him when I was 12 years old, I was just like, "Listen, next year I'm going to start competing, Dad. So you're going to have to step down, and you can't do anything anymore." And he was just like, "Well, you know what, Jessica, if that's what you want to do, because you've been around it your whole life and you're obviously passionate about it, if that's what you want to do, just know, like, take it seriously, because this is something that I love being involved in, and I'm going to miss being involved in, but I'm happy to do it from your side and from the parental side of it." And he he says that for some reason, some days he feels like organizing the pageant was easier than doing pageant paperwork. But but I'm so grateful for him and his involvement in the organization because it allowed me to have my involvement in the organization.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. And I love your dad. He's the greatest. And
Yes,
I love how he always takes the best pictures for all of us at the events and everything. He
always has his camera, his nice big camera. This past event, the Miss America Day at the mall, was the first event that I think that I've gone to in a long time without my Oz.
I know. I noticed that he wasn't there.
Exactly.
It made me a little bit sad.
He told me, now that I'm living in Macon for college, and he lives in Columbus still, he told me that he did not have a ride because he would not be riding up with me. He has his own vehicle, but since I was not driving, he did not have a ride.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
But I sent him plenty of pictures, and he loved the pictures of me and you on the carousel.
Oh my gosh, yay. I'm glad he loved them. Those are really good pictures. Yeah. So like you said, you've been competing since you were 12 years old and going to all of the pageants since you were born. So what has kept you in this organization?
Really just the friendships. I know more than anything, if I step back and I'm not involved in the organization as much as I am right now, I'm going to just miss seeing everyone as much as I do.
Yeah.
Going to the, not only Miss Georgia, but just going to events like Miss Georgia Day, like the race day that we went to, different events that they have set up where we can all see each other throughout the year is really just like the highlight of being in the organization. Because Miss Georgia Week is a week and a half long and we're all there and close to each other, but it's also just so nice to see each other throughout the year. And I know that once I age out and I can't compete anymore, I know I'm going to miss that so much, but for right now, I just want to be a part of that experience for as long as I can.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. That's my favorite part too. The relationships that you get to build, not only with the girls in the organization, but just people that you meet in the community through service is absolutely incredible. So what has been your favorite memory from competing or just like a funny story or something?
Favorite memory?
I'm sure you have many.
My favorite, actually, probably one of my favorite memories would probably just be in the dressing room, hanging out. We all would sit there and like sing different songs or like tell stories. Oh no, this is my favorite. We used to play Charlie. Yes, this was Charlie's first year because we scared you with this one. When we played Backyard Uno. We played Backyard Uno, and we would all sit there. And the whole purpose of it is that we would just all be as loud as possible. And there was the whole game is it was Backyard Uno. There was no rules, absolutely no rules. You could cheat. You could look at other people's cards. You could yell.
Yeah.
You could swap cards. There was no rules. There was no winner at the end because nobody could decide, and we all just ended up sitting there arguing over the winners. And it was honestly just the funniest. And watching your face as we were playing, because I think it's one of the first times you had been around everyone.
Yes, it was
everyone at the same time. And Charlie was, and because this was when you were my sister queen the first year.
Yeah, 13.
Yes,
it was my first year.
You were my sister queen, and you were just kind of just like, I didn't know y'all got this rally.
I know. I had no idea what was going on. I was a little bit overwhelmed too. But
I didn't know you got this rally.
Yeah.
No,
I enjoyed it.
Yes, that's probably one of the best, most fun Miss Georgia experiences, and I just remember that so much. And just everyone sitting, because everyone had such a fun time, and even though no one was playing by the rules, nobody really cared.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic.
Yes, I remember that one. That one was good. So you attended a performing arts school in high school. So what was the best and hardest part about that?
The best part was dancing every day, and the hardest part was dancing every day.
That makes sense.
It was just, it was a lot of stress on the body, but it was honestly so much fun just because I was able to be so creative all the time and create different group pieces. And even just my end of the year senior piece with one of my really close friends, KJ, was a duet. And it's probably one of the most favorite dances I've ever done. and just getting to choreograph that and going through the whole choreography process is fantastic, because really once you're older, and like I'm not in high school, so I don't get to dance as much or perform my dances as much anymore, which is part of the reason why I love doing pageants, is just because I get to dance on stage some more. But just getting to perform all the time with my friends and creating a group of like-minded dancers who were always training and always dedicated to what they wanted to do, and just having people that I could be like, hey, I have an idea for a dance, that are around me and are always willing to participate and work on it and do it, was just a fantastic experience. And so I really miss my friends, but I see them all the time, and we're actually going to the beach soon. My high school friends, we planned a little high school beach reunion. So just seeing them and being creative with them is probably one of the things that I miss most about being at my school.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so cool. I would love to go to a performing arts school. That would be incredible. But at the same time, I'd also enjoy where I am. So I'd have mixed emotions.
Well, one of the best things about like your public school is that it's so big, because you do go to a big school, don't you?
No, I actually go to a very, very small school.
Oh,
I do.
You're
yeah.
the wrong person then.
That's okay.
How big is your school? How big is your school?
Like we have like 30 something people in our grade.
My goodness. Yeah, we were a class of 33.
Oh, wow. So you know what it's like.
So me and you probably had that same, but that's part of the thing. You had that close-knit, tight high school experience. So like everyone in your class knows each other. It's like the same thing with us. Like everyone in our class knows each other. That's also how we've been able to stay so connected after high school, is because when it's only 30 people, it's hard.
It's hard not to be.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, absolutely. I love going to a small school because of that close-knit relationship. So you're currently at Wesleyan College, right?
Yes, I am.
That is so awesome to me. This is an all-girls school, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tell me the best and worst part about that.
Really, the best part is making new friends. It's actually quite easy to make new friends at an all-girls school, just because we're like, it's just an easygoing vibe. Like classes are so nice. They're small. It's the same thing. It feels like not high, like it doesn't feel like high school in a sense, but it feels like my high school, just because the class sizes are so small. We only have 113 of us in my freshman class, my college freshman class. So once again, like all of us are friends, all of us know each other. And just being at school with Switzer, that's probably one of the best things, is that Wesleyan just has a great ESA program, and they're very super understanding about that. It's fantastic. So really, I've just loved it. And my college campus is honestly gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like gorgeous. And it's so safe at night. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
That's so great. I'm so glad that you enjoy it there. So what do you think the hardest part, because you go to an all women's school, what do you think is the hardest part about being a woman in today's society?
Probably what I said earlier, which is that society expects us to do it all, but not only do it all, but still remain feminine while doing it all. And so just as women, you're expected to be fantastic mothers and work a job and always have time and clean and do all this kind of stuff and like all this stuff. And so really just being at a women's college, they really taught me that you don't have to be able to do it all, because no person can do it all. We don't expect men to do it all. We don't expect men to do it all. And so really just being at a women's college taught me about prioritizing myself and making sure that whatever I do, I put 100% effort in it, and to really just to display myself in a professional manner and a way that I want to be represented by the world. And that's why I really love my college right now.
Absolutely.
That I'm going to.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think so. One of my problems is apologizing all the time. And I think that some of that, because like a lot of times it's not even something that's my fault. Like someone will bump into me and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was on TikTok and I saw this video. It was like, Barbie has a YouTube channel now, like the cartoon Barbie. And it was this TikTok and this girl was like, okay, hear me out. listen to this thing by Barbie. She totally changed my view on saying sorry. And it was Barbie. And she was talking about how as a woman, we apologize so many times. Like if a waiter brings food that's cold, be like, sorry, could you heat this up for me, please? But she's like, no, you don't have to apologize. Because when you apologize constantly, it's making your real apologies seem less genuine and seem less real, but also you're making yourself seem smaller, but you don't have to apologize for being there, for needing something, you don't have to apologize all the time.
Yes.
So that's something
absolutely.
That's something that I think is very hard, just growing up as a woman, like apologizing for no reason, but I'm working on it, and I think I'm getting a little better. My sister Kitty, Kitty.
Kitty's fantastic too.
Yes, I apologize to her like all the time for little things. She's like, "Stop saying sorry. That's weak. Stop saying sorry." And I'm like,
and literally, I had the same problem when I was a freshman. Like when I was younger as well, I would always say sorry, and so like really, and that's also part of the reason why I loved college is because one of my friends. Really didn't even realize till college that I didn't have to say sorry as much as I was saying sorry. Because one of my friends was just like, you say sorry like about everything.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to say sorry.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't have to say sorry. Like I don't have to say sorry. And so really, kudos to you for watching. Kudos for Barbie for making that point.
I know.
And
I know, right?
For saying that and letting young girls understand that and know that as well.
Yes, it was very random that it popped up on my For You page, but I was like, okay, I'll give it a listen. And I was like, wow, Barbie knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, Barbie's stepping up her game for this next generation.
She sure is. So if you could go back and tell your high school self one thing, what would that be?
To be more confident. I really, really wasn't that confident in high school. I know I acted like it sometimes. I was really just outgoing personality-wise, but I wasn't really a confident person until I got to college. And then all my friends were just like, oh, Jessica, like, you're so outgoing. You're so all this, you're this. And I was just like, I really have never seen myself that way. So really just looking at yourself through the eyes of how other people see you. Like, stop seeing yourself. Treat yourself the way you want your friends to treat you.
Yeah. That's good.
Basically, treat yourself the way that you would want your friends to treat you. See yourself the way that your friends see you. That's really what I would tell my high school self.
Absolutely. That's good. That's really good. Because I think it's so easy to think that, we look at other people and we look at our friends and we see them as this beautiful person with this beautiful personality, but we can't see ourselves that way.
Exactly. And so it's like, you have to see yourself the way your friends see you and see yourself the way your friends see you. That's literally the best advice that I've ever given myself is to just, that I've ever received. And I can't remember who told me right now, but that's the best advice I've ever received.
Absolutely. And it's so true. See yourself the way your friends see you, see yourself the way God sees you, and learn to love that and learn to love who you were made to be, because you're put on this earth for a reason and it's not a mistake and you have a purpose. So you're doing others a disservice by not being confident in who that is, because if you're not confident in yourself, you're not going to go out and pursue the purpose that God has for your life. So that is so good.
And really, you are your own cheerleader. Like happiness and just being excited about life starts within. And even if it just takes a quick little motivation in the morning of being like, I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, just telling yourself that really helps you believe it. And even if you don't believe it at first, you will believe it because you will continuously tell yourself that and you will begin to feel that way.
Yep. Amen. I agree with that 100%. I think that is such a good place to end this interview. Thank you so much for this, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this. Like, I have a whole list of questions. I didn't even ask them all because you just and that's my favorite thing, when I don't have to use my questions, when it just is a conversation and, you had so many good things to say. So I'm so excited for this to come out.
You asked fantastic questions, Charlie. You were a wonderful host.
And you are a wonderful guest. And you answered the questions beautifully.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Be a Light podcast. Join us every week for a new episode.